Hey, welcome back to Meet the Masons.
Glad you guys joined us again.
Yes.
So today I am 40 weeks in 3 days. And normally we would wait till the week is completed before we update you guys on the week, but we just figured we're going to update you from
where we are today.
Where we are today, because who knows at this point when Little Miss Mason will come. So we're updating you guys on weeks 39 and 40 in a couple days. So weeks 39 started my maternity leave. So that has been fun, being home with Jared. And he also started paternity leave too. So his job actually gives him 2 weeks worth of paternity leave, which is fully paid. So that's pretty cool too. Yeah. So how'd you feel about being home?
Well, I already work from home, so.
Well, with me, us being together.
That's been awesome. It's really nice to have Kiara home, because I'd just be trying to text her and call her all day, and now I'm like, hey babe, what you doing? You know?
Yeah.
And she fine, so
wow.
I get to see her all day.
So yes, it's nice to definitely be with each other. I feel like we've gotten a lot more time to bond with one another, being that we've been home together. So that has been a plus. So as far as doctor visits, so on, I believe last Wednesday or Thursday, I had an appointment and they checked my dilation, and I was about 1.5 to 2 centimeters dilated. So it was progress from the 1 to 1.5 that I had before, but it was like, oh, I wish I was dilated a little bit more. So that was that. That was on Wednesday, and I went to the center, and then you want to just tell them about the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay. So then on her due date, so you guys know that we wanted her to come on September 1st. Yeah. Well, that day came and went. But on Saturday, which was September 2nd, her actual due date, I started to get contractions and they were lasting first it went from 5, and then quickly went to 4, and then it was 3.5. And they always say come in the hospital when it's 5, the contractions are 5 minutes apart. But we were like, no, we're gonna labor more at home first, before we go to the hospital. So that's why we waited till 3.5. And it was like coming quicker and quicker. So I'm like, oh my goodness, oh wow, this is really happening. So Jared was straightening up the bedroom. I was like getting myself together, because in between contractions I could still put myself together. So I put on my makeup. No, actually I did that in the car. So we did all that, and we already had the cars packed. As you could see that we did the hospital bag last week as well, while I was 39 weeks. So we were prepared. It was like 8:30 at night. And we went to the hospital. We called a couple family members, and we went in, and they said, okay, so we went in to check to triage, and they were like, okay, what's your name? Why are you here? Like, here for triage, 3.5 minutes apart, talking to her between my contractions. And they're like, okay, just have a seat. We'll let you know you can go back. So I'm thinking, it's triage. Like, you're supposed to just let me in. So as we waited, I just continued to walk through my contractions, had to use the bathroom. And then we finally got back, and there was a different OBGYN that came and checked my dilation. So she said I was 2.5, almost 3. So that was nice to know. And they said my contractions are really strong and really good. So they were like, well, you're at a 3. So typically they want to admit you when you're closer to a 6, 4 or 6 or something like that. Yeah. So they said, go walk in for 2 hours, and when we check your dilation, if it progresses more, then we'll go ahead and admit you. So we were super hungry, so we ended up walking to Wendy's. We went there, got our food, then we walked a long time for like an hour or so. There's like a little park,
garden.
A garden within the hospital. Walked, went back. This is to make a long story short. And they checked me again, and she was like, first of all, the OBGYN, she checked me as I was having a contraction. So she's like, move your leg down. And I'm like, this hurts. And I'm like, usually it doesn't hurt. Even when I went on Wednesday, like, it was so smooth. I was like certain that I was way more open than that, because it was no pain. So when she was like trying to ram her fingers up me and I'm having a contraction, it hurt so bad. She was like, can you stay still? Okay, well, it looks like there's been no progression. And I'm like, okay. And so there's a nurse that comes in behind the doctor, and she was like, I'm so shocked because your contractions are so good. You know what I mean? And she was like, I'm just shocked that you have to go home when you didn't progress. So we're going to discharge you and blah, blah, blah. Come back if it gets, stronger.
She said, come back if your contractions are less than 5 minutes apart and lasting longer than a minute. And I'm like, we're at 3.5, and they're at 1 minute 15 seconds. So you're giving me the book, and I'm like, obviously the book doesn't work.
Well, they said if they get a little bit shorter and more intense. So, I mean, we were already at that point, which we really thought we were. So, but they were really looking at dilation at that point. They didn't really care about how far the contractions were. So they said, we'll probably see you back in the morning. Just go labor. Actually, the doctor was like, well, we already ordered you some medicine so you can sleep well through the night. And I was like, excuse me? I don't need any medicine. I know how to sleep well. They're like, oh, you don't need it? And I'm like, no. So they're like, oh, well, we'll cancel the order. That made me so mad because it's like, don't try to force medicine on me. Don't try to force another bill on me. Like, I have no issues. I don't want any medication.
That's already over.
Anyway, so we went home and got some rest, but I still felt her moving a lot throughout the night, which normally I don't. When I'm asleep, I don't feel her. And then we just went on about our week.
Yeah.
So... that was that. So we haven't been back to the hospital since. My contractions have been, the closest they've been are like 7 to 10 minutes apart, and then they ease back up again. So that's that.
Now we found out that there is pre-labor, which basically is your body testing out, okay, are you ready for labor? Mm-hmm. And it's going to give you really, really close to everything that you're going to have in labor minus the dilation. We found that out, hindsight is 2020. And it's like, okay, if we would have known that, we still wouldn't have known the dilation part. So we still would have went. But nonetheless, it's like, okay, now it's food for thought for future reference, where it's like, okay, we can stick through the first part.
So there are 3 stages of labor. There's early labor, active labor, and then there is...
You have a baby.
You have the baby, and then you deliver the placenta.
Yeah.
The early labor can last 7 hours to a couple days. I didn't know it could last a couple days. And then, it's our first time, and we thought it would be by contractions, but now we know the next time we go to the hospital, I'm gonna have to feel her head coming out of me for me to go, because I'm not about to waste time going to the hospital. I don't know how we're gonna check. We just believe, hopefully my water breaks or something, and we'll see. We'll have a sign to go back to the hospital, but that's been that. Other than the hospital stuff, being home has been great because our home has been like radically cleaned and organized with the biggest help from Jared. He has done most of the work. So that has been good.
That's the only way I get to eat is if I clean up everything.
He's kidding. Hope you guys know that.
I'm just joking. Yeah.
Other than that, it's been honestly very emotional. Like thinking that, okay, you want to have her before your due date. Of course, babies come when they want to, and we understand that. And we all have a desire when we want our baby to come. We get so excited. So we had that excitement for the day before her due date. And it's like, okay, she didn't come the day before her due date. Sorry, guys. And then on her due date, we're getting ready to go to the hospital thinking it's the time, and then it's not. And then days go by, and it's just like, womp womp. So, it has been pretty emotional for me. I've cried off and on a number of times.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's momentary. And what I'm learning is that for a baby, I found out, I was like, well, what makes you actually go into labor? Because you can try to induce your labor all you want, but what makes a woman actually go into labor? And I found out is that when a baby's lungs are fully developed, they will send a hormone that tells the body that they're ready. And if you ever notice any baby that was born before their due date, they have lung issues, or they have to be hooked up to a respirator because of their lungs. And I'm like, I never knew that. Mm-hmm. That is so cool. So it's like, if she feels like she needs a little bit more time for her lungs to develop, that makes a lot more sense. And it's a whole lot less expensive for her to get herself together in here than outside. So, every day I'm trying to find joy and laughter while we're waiting. But it has been a little bit difficult, so that's that.
Yeah.
How has it been for you waiting for River?
It's been awesome. I've been learning to enjoy the little things, even though she's getting bigger. River, not you, calm down. But the little things like the kicks and the movements, obviously we've been dealing with kicks for a while, but just the little patterns and different things like, okay, she's doing this right now, she's doing that, or she just moved, did you see that? Whoa, look at that move. All these different things, and then just bracing myself for, whoa, she's actually going to be doing these movements outside the womb, and we're actually going to see her. She's going to see us. She's going to know, hold on, daddy looks like that, mom looks like what, you know? And it's exciting.
Yeah.
We're counting down, and a long time ago, I think I was like, yeah, I want the baby to be born on my birthday. And Kiara's like, you know what, I want it on the 1st, so I stood in agreement with my wife. I'm like, hey, you know what, the 1st, if that's what you want, that's what we'll do. We'll pray about it, we'll stay focused on the 1st, and let's go. But it's the 5th.
To his birthday is tomorrow, September 6th, by the way.
I'm just saying, you know.
So.
Hey, I'm not saying it's going to be my birthday, but sure wasn't the 1st.
It clearly wasn't the 1st. So, yeah, his birthday's tomorrow. At any day, it can happen. Honestly, I feel like she's going to come on the 7th for some reason. But we will see.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and this is what I don't like about due dates, and, you know, it is what it is, but if you guys look at my weeks 1 through 4, you would see that my cycles are longer than most people. So when most people may have gotten pregnant after 28, you know, their 28-day cycle, my cycle was lasting 33 days or longer sometimes. So I figured that the due date that they gave me based on my last period wasn't going to be accurate. I figured it was probably going to be a week afterwards, but I just held on to that hope that maybe she would still come a little bit early. So of course due dates are always guesstimates, but it's about right where I am right now. So technically, even though I'm 40 weeks, I probably am really 39, maybe late 38 weeks pregnant. But so
and
that's
is
that.
Like a 2 week?
Yeah, it's about
2 to 3 week window.
2 week window.
Yeah.
So they told me at my last appointment that I actually have an appointment on Thursday, which is in 2 days, and then they said, you know, they'll check my dilation, see where I am, then they're going to talk about induction, but I don't want to be induced. So we are just praying that she comes this week, and we're also preparing for Hurricane Irma in case she comes, which it's just better to be prepared than not. So that is something that we are also preparing for. So just keep us in your prayers. It is very exciting to be planning a baby and planning for a hurricane at the same time. But it's so funny because a lot of my birthdays, I remember there was always a hurricane around that time. I was born September 14th. So it's not uncommon, and I'm sure we're going to be A-okay, but it is very, very fun. Anyway, so did you have anything else?
No, we're counting down 1 day at a time, 1 minute at a time for little River Lee, and it's going to be exciting. At first, I thought that she was going to look like me. Hopefully, it still changes into that. But my goodness, these pictures are looking just like Kiara. Yeah. And I'm like, man, my family's going to flip. Because we have strong genes, but
really strong genes. But
this girl right here, then, woo, they took the genes. They took my genes.
And it's funny because I have a sister. Well, we have different fathers, and I am my father's only child, so I don't really know how strong our genes are because all I know is that I kind of look like my dad. Well, I look like my dad more than I look like my mom. Love you, Mom. But I look more like him. And so I'm like, our genes, I don't know about our genes, but his for sure are strong. So I just knew that she was going to look like him.
She's going to have to change. She's going to have to change. I'm telling you, look, something going to have to give.
So anyway, we have actually been vlogging this whole week, so anything that we miss, we may put it in a vlog for you guys to see what we're doing throughout the week, because I'm sure we didn't say everything, but that's what we have on our mind right now, and we had to kind of makeshift this video and do it on my phone, so we just wanted to have a update for you guys. More so Jared wanted to have an update. I was just going to be like, whatever.
Hey, my thing is this, if we say every Tuesday, we need to have it every Tuesday. Now, we have missed 2 Tuesdays.
Or more.
2. Maybe that's too many. Yeah. So, anyway, that is it for weeks 39 and 40 so far. And we don't know when the next video is going to be, what it's going to be about, I should say. But just stay tuned.
Yes, so thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for those who have checked on us, and we apologize if we did not get to you. Like I said, it's been an interesting time for us, and but we do want you to know that we are doing well.
Yes.
And we will let you guys know when she is here. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Bye. So guys, I am about 153 pounds. And I have to measure how far I'm expanding around my waist. But I think it stayed at about 140. Oh, that was a hairpin. So here's my belly. Can you see my stretch marks? Got some new stretch marks. She is head down. And I actually believe she was usually on the left, but I believe that she has moved to the front now, which is her getting prepared for the birthing position. So I am excited about that.